talk about how to control your emotions because this was one of the best lessons that God ever taught me. Hold on. So let's start off with why it's important to control your emotions. Emotions are fickle, right? And what that means is that you could feel one way today and then you're going to feel a completely different way tomorrow. Like one week you could love pizza and then next week you be like, I don't want no pizza. I don't got a taste for that. So with that being said, being that emotions can change so quickly and it can go up, they can go down, especially if you're a woman and your time of the month, girl, you already know how they get. With that being said, whether you're a male or a female, emotions should not dictate your decisions. But I know that men are better with this than us women. Like, I just got to be honest, they are. It's important not to let your emotions dictate your decisions because your decisions need to be something that you can live with, not just something that you feel in the moment. That's why you see people on those TV shows like Snapped, or you see women posting crazy stuff online or fighting and end up in jail. And it's just like, I was so hurt. I was so mad. But now you're regretting your decision because you allowed your emotions to dictate your actions. And that's a problem. So 3 ways that I've learned to control my emotions. First and foremost, prayer is always an option. Pray, 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 pray. Whether you have to scream, yell, curse, God cares about what you have to say. Pray through that feeling. The second thing is, if it's a situation where you're in the heat of the moment, remove yourself out of that situation. Because if your emotions take over, you know what's going to come next. So in some situations, you just have to remove yourself out of the environment and go somewhere else. Just completely remove yourself. And that could be for the safety of you or the safety of the other people involved. Whoever safety is for, just get up out of there. The thing about emotions is that, one, your emotions are valid. I'm definitely not saying that your emotions and your feelings are valid. But what we have to learn how to do is find a positive way to direct that energy that comes with those emotions. So that's why prayer is a positive way. Removing yourself is a positive way. And the third way is calling someone, whether it's a friend or whether it's a significant other or whether it's a family member. Well, usually your significant other, the one that's pissing you off, if we're being honest. But call somebody that's willing to listen because you still need to get it out. When anger and rage comes, that's a way of releasing that emotion. Find a positive way to do it. So call someone on the phone and just talk and get it out. You could pray, you can remove yourself, and you could talk to somebody. The fourth way is to go to the gym. This one is my personal favorite, honestly. If you make me mad, I'm going to do 100 squats. Like, I'm just letting you, because by the time I finish in the gym, you're going to be mad that you made me mad, okay? At the end of the day, you shouldn't want to be around someone that causes your emotions to like that anyways. But if you are, these are 4 things that you could do to try to control those emotions.
Emotional control is extremely important. It makes you locked in yourself. You simply know what you want and how you react before you face the things that disturb you. You know what actually disturbs you and you know how to control it. Because don't think ever that people go ahead and get a reaction out of you and they don't know that they will get a reaction out of you. Everything for them is calculated. They know how to manipulate the conversation. They know how to manipulate you, whether they want to get from you a reaction so they can paint you wrong, or they want to get money from your pocket. Because emotional reaction could be simply excitement as much as it could be an anger. Emotional control is extremely important. You could be spending extra money because you cannot control your emotions. You could be fired from your job because you cannot control your emotions. Some people, you need more strategic ways. You don't exactly need to give them what they want. If you know they want a reaction out of you, don't give that to them. If you know that the person who's selling you something want a reaction out of you so they can get money from your pocket, whether the reaction is that you have to bring this so you can be safe, or you have to bring that so it's on discount, or example, your boyfriend or your partner, he's like getting a reaction out of you just to make sure you are the one that is hooked in the relationship, because themselves, they cannot get energy because they are negative people, and you're the kind one that give them that reaction, and after that you find yourself in jail or fired or depleted, or like in a situation that you will never want yourself to be in.
How to stop overreacting. Overreacting ruins your power. It tells people exactly how to control you. Here's how to stop, even when your emotions are screaming. 6 ways. 1, pause before you speak. If you react first, you're reacting from your ego. Breathe first. Control the energy. 2, label the emotion in your head. I feel disrespected. I feel rejected. When you name it, you tame it. 3, don't explain your reaction to people who caused it. They know what they did. You owe them silence, not a speech. 4, ask yourself, will this matter in 3 days? If the answer is no, don't lose sleep over it tonight. 5, learn the difference between real disrespect and emotional flashbacks. Not everything is about now. Sometimes you're reacting to a wound, not a moment. 6, walk away before you regret the text, the post, the paragraph. Just walk away first. Self-control is a luxury. Overreaction is cheap. You can be emotional without being self-destructive. Power is calm. And now you have it. You don't need to go 100% cold. Just stay in control. Save this next time you're spiraling.
Emotional control is one of the most powerful skills you can have as a woman. If you want people to listen to you, you need to stand on business, baby, and stop getting emotional with people who do not care. The minute that you start crying, begging, or trying to explain yourself to someone that doesn't care, they stop hearing you. You teach people how to treat you by what you allow. Boundaries don't need long paragraphs. Standards don't need long explanations. You say what you want, you say what you don't tolerate, and you move accordingly. Let's be real, society loves emotional women because they think it makes us easier to manipulate. That's why they call us too sensitive or too emotional when we react. But when you stay calm, cool, collected, and unbothered, that's when people realize they can't play you. Emotional control is a power move. You don't have to scream, babes. There is nothing deadlier than a woman that knows that her silence and consistency speak loud.
How do you control your emotions? This is Emotional Control 101. So come forward. Number 1, you need to understand what emotional control means. It is the ability for you to feel everything you want to feel, the anger, the emotions, but your reaction is always a bit delayed. You take your time to react so you can have the perfect reaction to things. Number 2, you need to understand that emotional control makes you powerful. Yes, people will do things to get you mad, and then they will hold on to your reactions when you get mad because you play into their hands. You reacted the way they expected you to react. So it is easy for them to bait you or set you up because you are pretty much predictable. But if you know that emotional control makes you powerful, you will be in charge of the conversation. You will know how to not let people push you over. You would maintain your dignity when people try you, and you will make fewer mistakes and have fewer regrets. Number 3, you must know when to practice emotional control. When someone disrespects you, you're always pushed to match energies, but don't do that. Don't disrespect them in return. When someone withdraws from you, don't chase, don't beg, don't tell them, oh, please treat me better. Don't beg for clarity or beg for love. And most importantly, don't over-explain yourself because you're trying so hard for them to see reasons with you. They know what they are doing. When someone triggers you, take a pause. When they piss you off so badly, take a deep breath and ask yourself, what am I supposed to do in this situation? Am I supposed to react or take my time to react? And when they misunderstand you, clarify yourself once. Don't do it twice. Don't do it 3 times. Don't do it over and over. And don't beg them to understand you. And for the men that say, oh no, we're not emotional beings, but they be beating their wives. They be breaking things in the house. We're going to address you some other day. But for now, ladies, if you learn to control your emotions as a girl, you've solved half of your life problems and more than half of your relationship problems.
The woman who controls her emotions controls the man. So if you want to know how to control your man, watch this video. Remember that my advice is bad advice and bad advice only, so good girls scroll past. Men are not stronger than women, they just know how to play our emotions. That guy that ghosted you knew that you would cry and still take him back after ghosting you. The man that cheated knew that you would forgive and forget. Your boyfriend that has stopped doing things for you knows that you're too in love to leave him. Number 1, men, they thrive on your reactions, so you need to stop giving them. One thing that a man hates is when he cannot read you, when he cannot understand exactly what you're thinking or how you're feeling. If he annoys you and you're screaming, crying, sending paragraphs, he already knows that he owns you. But if you're quiet, you act unbothered, or you even disappear, he will start panicking. If a guy that you've been talking to or you've been dating tells you that, oh, I'm not really looking for anything serious, what you would normally say is, oh, so what have we been doing since now? So all this time I've been wasting my time with you. I've given you love. I've given you everything. What you should say instead is, okay, that's fair. I actually have options. So it's good we're in the clear. Period. Point blank. You goes that man, you leave that man. Next, when a man pull away, you too pull away. A lot of you're in one-sided relationship. A man pulls away and you're the one calling, texting, calling him every time. Why have you not been responding to me? I've been trying to get to you. Why have you been doing this to me? He becomes distant and you're the one trying to fix things. No, baby, it's not supposed to be like that. If he pulls away, you pull away harder. If he gets distant, you get busier. If he stops putting effort, you become unavailable. That is why I always tell you guys to cheat. Always have more than one guy. So that as one is pulling away, you start giving your time to the other ones, to the other two. But when you have just one relationship, when that one is pulling away, to start pinning you because you're not lonely, you're not alone, your phone is dry. Number 3, the less you say, the more power you have over him. The reason why men run mental gymnastics on you is because you tell them everything. You too talk. You tell him exactly how your ex hurt you. So now he's going to hurt you the same way. Now he's going to use the same playbook to be like, oh, that guy is so bad. But watch how he does exactly the same thing to you. You're even literally giving him the blueprint. You tell him your biggest fears. You tell him things that scares you. You tell him things that trigger you. So now you know exactly how to trigger you. You tell him, oh, I cannot live without you. Now he's going to start treating you bad because he knows you cannot live without him. The most powerful woman, he's the one who can walk away when she's disgusted, when she's not feeling valued anymore.
If you are that person where you are just reactive, you're gonna sink your ship completely. It means you're not thinking through things. It means you have no self-regulation. I self-regulate. Don't get me wrong, there's times where I'm like, I'm gonna burn this bridge down all the way and I don't care. I'm good with it so long as I am choosing clear-headedly, I'm gonna burn this bridge down, but I'm choosing to do it. I'm not doing it reactively. I'm not doing it because I've lost control. I'm doing it because I made that choice. I'm going to burn this bridge and this relationship, and I'm 100% okay with it. Do it, but make sure you're doing it.
Not the monkey inside your brain.
Exactly.
The truth is, you have no emotional regulation. I don't care how calm, cool, and collected you think you are. I don't care how mature you think you are. I don't care how long it's been since the trauma has happened. You don't know how to emotionally regulate yourself. Healthy people don't allow their feelings to directly correlate with their actions, meaning just because you feel some type of way doesn't mean you immediately act on it. A lot of us that come from trauma act on our impulse, act on whatever we feel. Oh, we're angry, cuss them out. We don't feel safe in the relationship, leave. What else? We're triggered by somebody, it's their fault. We should be mad at them. We should hate them. We should sabotage them. Well, not only does a healthy adult, a healthy person sit in their emotions, sit with their emotions long enough to make a good decision, long enough to use their logic, think about the facts, actually do some research, talk to their partner, have the conversation. But a healthy person also doesn't use the external to regulate how they should feel inside. So a healthy person doesn't say, oh, I shouldn't be triggered. I shouldn't feel this way. So let me just not speak on it at all. Let me just pretend it's not happening. A healthy person says, ooh, what that person did, it didn't strike me the right way. So let me ask if they truly meant this. Let me have the conversation and tell them how their behaviors affected me. They don't blame that person. They don't immediately assume that person meant to do it, but they also acknowledge that what this person did or what that person said is triggering something within me, and we need to talk about it so that we can create and keep a safe environment around us. And what this does is it creates trust. It builds trust and safety in a relationship. A lot of us that come from trauma also believe that the right person, we should just automatically feel safe. We should just automatically trust them just because we're compatible, just because they have these credentials, just because the first date went right, just because we like the same nail shape. Like, traumatized people have magical thinking where we believe if this is the right relationship, I should feel safe no matter what. When in all actuality, healthy relationships, whether it's family, friends, jobs, whatever it is, coworkers, a healthy relationship is cultivated through you being triggered or them being triggered and then talking it out. Healthy conflict resolution, not everything should just be Jolly Ranchers and rainbows all the time. Not, oh, because I'm triggered, now this person isn't safe. No, you have to be able to sit with your emotions long enough to use your logic to have the conversation, to find that safety, if that makes sense. You have to be able to sit with your emotions long enough to decide what's the next best step to help me connect with this person, to help me get closer and understand this person's intentions, rather than completely running away or trauma bonding and fighting about it, or never having the conversation and ending up feeling used in the relationship because I don't want to set my boundaries. I don't want to speak up for my needs.
So the first comment says, searched how to control my emotions and led me to this. I truly struggle with not letting them dictate how I act throughout the day or in the moment. Second one is saying, I struggle with this with my significant other. I get so frustrated in the heat of the moment of our argument, and it frustrates me that he doesn't understand me, and I say things that I don't really mean, and it feels like a cycle, which is true, to be honest. When you don't know how to control your emotions, specifically when you were young, we have never been taught this unless we were grown up in a regular house or as a healthy house. So unless this is not true for you, and most of us it's not, you need to teach yourself how to control your emotions, because this is a skill. It's not in a day or 2 or 3 days, maybe that will take with you some time, but it will stick. It will become part of your identity. The decision, you can make it right now, but the skill itself, it takes time to be learned. I have anger issues and I react to things ASAP when I'm angry. I feel so ashamed of myself because I feel I've lost a lot of relationships because of that. I've tried to work on it, but I feel I'm not doing enough. Never shame yourself. Never get angry with yourself. Yes, sometimes it's healthy to get angry with yourself, but not all the times. And the feeling of shame will take you nowhere. And as long as you're doing something, you're doing enough. Okay, I'm not saying you're doing enough in general, but I'm saying if you put yourself down, you gotta tell yourself, no, I'm just doing enough to my capabilities right now. You don't need to put over your shoulder a lot of baggages. You need to just tell yourself, I'm doing enough to my capabilities right now, and that's good. Now I see the problem, so that's halfway of the healing. When someone triggers me, I ask myself, are they even worth my energy? And move on. And that's true. Most of the people who trigger you will keep triggering you, so they are not worth your energy, and yeah, you better move on. I told him I could not live without him. When he suggested a breakup, I agreed straight away. The silence in the room was screaming shock. Yeah, but you should have never told him. Matter of fact, you can live without anybody. You can live without your parents. You can live without your kids. The only thing that you couldn't be living without is yourself. That is the truth. And when you give the keys to a man or anybody or any person, the keys to your heart, they will use it to unlock a breakup. I needed this. Thank you. My guy knew I hated silent treatment or ghosting. He has done it 3 times. I ran to him. This last one, he did it again. I just ignored him. It has been 4 days now, and I see his status, I think. Okay. Well, you told him you hated it, so he did it. Easy. I'm telling again, don't tell nobody what you hate. Just acknowledge it and move on. If they did what you hate, you said it, done and dusted. Done. But well, for starting from now on, any person who used what you told him to do it, not to do it, he did it or she did it, is your friend, well, just go, like, acknowledge it and move on, please. Move on completely. We are a lot on this planet, so a lot of hot and sexy people out there, so ditch them for real.